Hello brew tubers. Yet another brew happening. So I brewed last night the Pina Colada wheat beer, which is sat in my large fermentation vessel not doing anything, so I'll give it to the end of the day and see if it actually starts fermenting. If not, I'm in trouble. Anyway, that was yesterday. This is today. Today I am brewing Robinson's Old Tom from the Camera's Brew Your Own British Beer Book. Again, brewing winter beers. So it was Seatson's Old Peculiar last week, and today doing the Old Tom recipe. Only doing 19 litres of it because it's such a large grain bill. I'll probably struggle to do 23 or 25 litres. So just brewing the 19 litres. Strike water is getting up to temperature. I'm enjoying a half pint of my rather piss poor Woodford Sundew. There's no body to it at all. It's okay. I mean, you can drink it. So yes, I'll show you the recipe. So here is the recipe. 5,440 grams of pale malt, 445 grams of crystal malt and white sugar, and 155 grams of chocolate malt. I shall mash it at 68 degrees for 90 minutes. So onto the boil. 36 grams of WGV and 23 grams of Goldings at the start of the boil, and in the last 10 minutes 19 grams of Goldings and Irish moss. So yeah, going to be a good old traditional style beer, full bodied and fruity hopefully. Got quite a high original gravity to hit, 1080. I wouldn't mind if I don't hit that so much. You know, if I get 1070 and get a 6% beer, I'll still be fairly happy, but yeah, let's get 1080 if we can. Right, so I'm just going to add the dark grains. The 455 grams of sugar is already in there. Had to use a mix of brewing sugar and ordinary table white sugar because I ran out, but anyway. This is 155 grams of chocolate malt and 455 grams of crystal malt going on. That's why I love using dark malts, it smells so bloody lovely. Like coffee in here at the moment. Right, so I'm just adding the last 440 grams of pale malt. There's a lot of malt in there, a lot of malt. It's been a bit of a struggle actually getting it all in. It's my arms are aching for all the stirring, but no. Yep, sure it'll be very good once it's done. All the hard work will be worth it. Get this last bit in. Just taking it very slowly because it is so tight, full of grist. I don't want, because we've got such a high target, I want to make sure we actually hit it by making sure I haven't got any dough balls or anything nasty like that in there. Trying to get the big guns out, I think. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Right, so I'm going to give this a good old stir in, and then we'll Start the recirculation, the lautering, mashing for 90 minutes. I learnt my lesson from the old peculiar. I'm doing exactly what the recipe book tells me to do. So a 90-minute mash it is. That's a lot of grain. That is a lot of grain. So just about to start the sparge. I've lifted the grain basket up to the first step just to drain some of the water out because it is rather heavy. It's actually been mashing for 2 hours, half an hour more than the 90 minutes I should have mashed for. That's because my sparge water just isn't up to temperature yet, so we're nearly there, so I thought I'd just better get it drained. So onto the sparge. The sparge, onto the sparge. Got the water at about 80 degrees Celsius. Just taking it nice and gentle. I'll probably sparge up to about 25 litres, and obviously then try and pour it down to 19 or 20. Yes, I'll won't bore you with the rest of the sparge, so I'll see you on the boil. Right, so first hop additions. First off, 36 grams of whitbread goldings into op spider, and then 23 grams of plain goldings. Oh, missed the hop spider completely. Where is my stirrer spoon gone? You put something down and there it is. Let's give it a bit of a stir in. So 90-minute boil. Good stuff. Right, so last hop addition. I got 10 grams of golding and 9 grams of East Kent golding because again I ran out of goldings, so it's good enough. 10-minute addition. Pop that in. Chuck in your trusty Protoflop tablet. Oh, exciting things happen. Give this a bit of a stir in. It smells like fish now. And we're good. I shall chuck the water chiller in there just to sanitise and give it 10 minutes. Right, so I've got the cooler in and I'm just say getting it down to correct temperature to pitch the yeast. So we'll join later. Right, so I've added the yeast and I'm just chucking the water in from a height. I'll collect a sample just to see what original gravity we get. Right, so here is the sample of water and the hydrometer. I make that about 72 thereabouts, which is about 10 points under what I was expecting to get. I have a funny feeling it might be because of the crush on the pale malt, because it's the second or third time I've used this grain, and each time I've used this particular malt I've been under, so I reckon it's perhaps too coarsely ground, but still, you know, 1072 is going to make a respectable strength beer, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's a bit under the 1080 that we were supposed to have, and as I said, I reckon it might be the pale malt just being a little bit coarse, because say that was mashing for 2 hours, so nothing wrong with the mash or the sparge. Yeah, I reckon it's the grain crush. Oh well, so that's brew day over with. Again, didn't hit my target. So colour's good, and the taste, it's very sweet. But yeah, that's a bit disappointing. Got 19 litres, so once I've gotten rid of all the crap, it'll probably be about 18 litres to bottle. So yeah, I reckon it's the pale malt. I think it's not crushed fine enough, and I think that's what's holding back my efficiencies at the moment. Because it's the third time I've used this malt. It's the third time my OGs have been down. So you know, put two and two together. Other than that, though, it was a successful brew day. I'm going to do the tidying up tomorrow because it's quite late. What time is it now? 8:45. So not as late as last night, but late enough. So yeah, do tidying up tomorrow. Probably won't brew tomorrow for sure. I'll leave it a week or two before I brew again. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it? We don't all have perfect days, and I think you know, until I finish this sack of grain, I'll probably be a bit low on the averages. I don't have a miller, so I can't sort of re-crush it. Could always add an extra 500 grams of pale malt per brew, perhaps. But you know, it came out at 1070. It's still going to make a strong beer. In fact, it's probably better it isn't quite so strong. Thinking about it, you know, 8.5% is very strong for a beer. So perhaps slightly lower ABV will be better. Again, a lot of issue with steam. It's soaking wet on the shelves. I need to get this ventilator in as soon as I can, and I think that'll sort things out. So yes, that's Romson's Old Tom. Won't be able to have a bottle for a couple of months, but yeah, with that and Old Peculiar, I've got 2 winter beers. I did pinch some of the yeast off the top of Old Peculiar because I didn't trust the yeast I had ready for it in the fridge smelt off, so I just chucked it, and so I've just cultivated some from the top of Old Peculiar and chucked that into the fermentation vessel for Old Tom. So hopefully that will be good. And yeah, Pina Colada wheat beer doesn't seem to have been doing anything. I will check that in a minute. So I think I'm just going to pour myself a nice pint eventually. This is my Woodford Sun Duke kit with Ringwood yeast, which is not the best beer in the world. It's a bit watery. There we go. So I'm going to sit down, enjoy this beer for a bit. As I said, I'll leave the tidying up till tomorrow. So it's been a long day with a 2-hour mash and a 90-minute boil. Oh yes, the pump. I think the pump's had it now. Need to get another one of them. It's just, I've cleaned it out, reassembled it, and it's catching. As soon as you put the lid on, it catches on something. So I think the pump's on its way out. So I need to get a new pump. Oh well, life goes on. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again for a tasting video, perhaps, who knows.